and welcome back to South African Homesteader. Today I thought I would just let you see what is happening in my garden, what has been growing, and how much they've grown or how little they've grown. And then because it's really looking so beautiful and so fresh, so I thought I'd let you I would take you on a walk around with me. We have had some incidents this past 2 weeks. Our neighbors' sheep come behind from me and eating all my corn. The first time I thought that they would just all die, but they have come back, and they have, although the tops were all bitten off, they have started forming, shooting out the leaves below that, full leaves. The ones that were bitten off were cut in half, but the other ones were quite full. But now they've been eaten off again, and we have, my husband and my son-in-law have put some wire fencing, and we didn't have posts, so we attached it to our trees. So it's not actually on our boundary, it's actually before the boundary, but it's just to keep the sheep out for now. My husband has done a video on some of what they've done, which I will post at a later date once he has completed the video. It's his first video that he did on his own. He just was watching it the evening. I'm like, what's that? And he's, oh no, I made a video. So yeah, I'm so proud of him. But seeing what's in the garden. So this is a corn bed, and we have some sunflowers in here as well. And this was planted about, I would say about 2 weeks ago, and this has come up nicely. These corn were intact because they are right to the front of the garden. I have prepared this bed, although we haven't planted anything in here as yet. We're just letting this compost that we mixed in here, actually the crow manure, we're just letting it settle a bit. So this has been done about a week ago. In here we have also, I think it's some sunflowers, I have some nasturtiums, and I actually can see some the nasturtiums is not doing too well here, but sunflowers, they have come up nicely. These are my tomato plants. I have now taken off all the bottom leaves to get it up from the ground, and they are looking very well. So we have a trellis in between these 2 rows of tomatoes. I don't know if you can see it. So we have a trellis that we've just put in between this before we planted it, so as not to disturb the tomato plants. This is a bed that I planted some flowers in, and it was in such a nice pattern, but it doesn't seem like anything has come up as yet. So that is this bed. And in here we have another. We have some more tomatoes here, and then this is these are some watermelons, and these are my cucumber plants coming up here. And like I've said before, the idea is for them to trail and climb over this trellis. So that is what that looks like. This is the actual watermelon patch, which I know will completely overtake because it's not being trellised. So they're just going to be lying on the floor. And you know what I've noticed? Look at this. I don't know if you can see, but we have some ladybugs. Yes, we have some ladybugs. And they will be taking care of all the aphids because I haven't seen any aphids here actually. And then we have some more squash plants. I can't remember which are which. I now planted some zucchini, which the baby marrow. I've planted some gem squash. I've planted some this. I planted some green herbet squash, which I know this is because this is where I planted the green herbet squash. And this I know for a fact is the baby marrow, and that's the sunflower. I actually had a whole patch here which I thinned out. These are the baby marrows, and these are the herbet squash, which is, I mean, the nasturtiums is not doing too great here. It almost looks like a variegated nasturtium, but I think it might not be. I think it might just be that it's not doing well. Okay. So this is the other corn patch. I have these are the sweet bantam, sweet corn, and it's looking so healthy. What I planted here is I just threw now I've grown pawpaw papaya, or pawpaw as we know it as. I've just thrown a couple of the seeds here. I will send them out when they get bigger. So I have tried to spread it, but I didn't take out the outer sort of gel membrane, so they were stuck together. So hopefully, I don't know how it's going to do. I just put it in there. In here is this is either a delphinium or, but anyway, some of the flowers really are not doing so well here. I think these might be gem squash at the bottom here. I'm really not sure because I really didn't label anything this year. Then walking up here, this is my mango tree, and I don't know if these are actually going to ripen, but all of a sudden, a few days ago, maybe a week ago, I started seeing that these little blossoms actually started turning into fruit. Now, I haven't mentioned this before, but there is quite a lot of I do have quite a lot of bees during the day here, because this property that we purchased, the previous owner actually had his beehives all across here, and they now, the property opposite there is actually who we purchased it from. He has his beehives right opposite there. So we have, and during the day you can actually see they just in this drum of water, that container. These were tomato seeds. These tomato plants were planted from seed. I think this is a cherry tomato. This is a Roma. It's actually two. I don't have the heart to pull out the weaker one because they both look so strong. And in that one is a oxheart. And these are some celosia flowers that I have here. And surprisingly, in the seed, my petunias is doing quite well. This is the guava tree, which I now see has got something happening over there. And then these are the broccolis, which I don't see anything happening on the inside yet. I don't know. I don't see any heads being formed. This is my zinnias, and there's another ladybug over there. There's another ladybug over there. So there's a ladybug. These one. So they are beneficial insects. Which is why I actually don't even want to spray neem oil or even put diatomaceous earth right now, because although it is organic, they still might harm my beneficial insects. Planted a few flowers in here that I started from seed, not doing so great. I can't remember which is which. Like I said, this year we'll just end up getting lots of surprises because things haven't actually been marked properly. Now here you can see my cabbages are starting to form little heads. The cabbages are starting to form heads. How beautiful. I cannot wait because I love cabbage. Yes, definitely forming the heads. That's a weed. And then here we have, one is cauliflower and the one is broccoli. And I can't remember which is which, but this is the other one. But you see, we have some bugs. We have done the neem oil one about, I think it could be now almost 3 weeks ago, but I actually haven't done it again. But like I say, with organic food, you're not going to get your perfect leaves. You're going to get some holes. You're going to get some, because we do not want to harm our beneficials or our natural insects in the garden. Then over here you have my eggplant, and all of a sudden this has started taking off nicely. I see there's a blossom. This is the Black Beauty eggplant, and then these are the butternuts, and they, I mean, how absolutely gorgeous is this? So beautiful. So we've now covered that side of the garden. So these are my onion plants. These were started, all my onions were started from seed. As you can see, some of them are still coming up. I actually did it in 2 batches. And then this year, some more cabbage. Yeah, no, they're definitely forming their heads now. And then I have some head lettuce, and these 2 are forming heads. The lettuces are also forming some heads here. Cabbages. And I just planted out some cabbages, some lettuces that I forgot in the seedling trays, because they came up quite late, took long to come up. So anyway, some more lettuce, and then some more, what is this, cabbage, and then some more broccoli, and some more cauliflower. Now this is the bed that I planted in the style of the 3 sisters. You plant a corn, and then you plant a bean that will stabilize the corn, and it actually works, because here you can see this bean, and these another beneficial. See my little ladybug. So these beans, these are half white sugar beans. All of this in here is half white sugar beans. The beans will help stabilize your corn. They will actually wrap around your corn. And then you have normally a squash plant. I, however, decided to plant my ladybugs. I decided to plant sweet melons in this bed. So the beans will be giving nitrogen back into the soil, and it will also help stabilize the plants, the corn. These are also the sweet bantam sweet corn. And I have seen 1 or 2 little small little female flowers with a little melon behind it. I can't look through that now. And in here I have some more sweet corn with some more half white sugar beans. And I don't know which squash plant this is. Either it is a zucchini, or I don't know, gem squash or something. And this also is supposed to trellis up all over this. But I am a little bit scared to bend the stems because they do kind of, they are quite firm. So I'm just letting it do its own thing. I'm gonna just let it go absolutely wild over here, over here, over there. I'm just gonna let it do its own thing. But let me show you. So let me show you. We have had bees busy in this bed all the time, and look at that. I think this is that gem squash or pumpkin? I can't. But there's one, and there's some more. I definitely, it's that one down there. That one down there. You know, if you want to start growing something, I have now, and you have the space. But even if you don't have the space, you can actually just trellis them sooner than we did. I think what we did, we did it a bit late. So I can't see it now, but so this bed is, the idea behind this also is for this to just go crazy and go over this trellis. These are, I think these are gem squash. If I'm not mistaken, then these are the gem squash. And I don't know which one that is. What I did was, last week, when they did this trellis, I just popped in some green beans in here to actually just trellis up here, because we weren't going to put this in, but then we decided let's just put another arch up here. I find it so hard, because if I'm going to be bending this, then it's going to, if I'm going to be bending this, then it's going to break. So this is the mulberry tree that I started from seed. The other one is on top there, it's a bit smaller. And then these are just some, you see these cucumbers I transplanted from over there, put one in here, one in there, one in there. I put in 7 so that we have some sort of growth going on this side while we're waiting for that to climb over. Okay, and then so this is this garden. I don't think I did the cherry tomatoes here in front, but let's just show you. These are my cherry tomatoes. These I didn't start from seed. These I actually purchased in a 6-pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of them have survived. Strawberry patch, not doing too great, but we're getting a huge amount of strawberries. We were supposed to harvest them yesterday, but let me just try one. And this is organic, no pesticides, so I can eat it from the, oops, look at this. Super sweet, love it, absolutely beautiful. Show you, so this is a new bed that we planted it in front of the greenhouse just to have some sort of something here. So we've put some wood chips down here because the soil was quite soft, although we did put a little bit of the gravel down. The soil here was a bit soft, so we decided to rather wood chip it. I actually bought the wood chips to put in. Oh, I actually bought the wood chips to put in between those beds up there, with the intention that next year I will be planting where you see where you see the actual walkways, plant in the walkways and keep the rows as walkways next year, and then do the same thing, alternate it like that, and that way the soil will be enriched over the years. Because if underneath the wood chips, they will break down eventually and it will feed the soil. So these are my bromeliads, which has taken such a beating. They were just lying out here around the pool in pots blowing around. So these are the bromeliads bed, and I'm hoping that they're obviously going to be multiplying. For those of you who don't know, they're all part of the pineapple family. So they flower about once every 5 years. They have flowered last year. When I purchased them, they had flowers on them, and I knew that they would only have flowers again in a few years. I popped in a few of my pepper plants as well. Some of them are doing okay, and some has been scorched by the sun, but which is why I've planted a lot more than I actually needed. Now in this bed, this is quite new. So these are kale, which I got from Nabila and Rizal, and then I put some pepper plants in here. I also have asparagus. Look at this. I put in one of my date palms that I also started from seed, because the idea is for this to grow up and be nice and big. Hopefully it won't shade out this. This is dried out. Also another asparagus and another one. I've got some more. These are the Mary Washington, and then I have some more kale and peppers over here. And the idea is to section off this area where we're eventually going to be. Just, I don't know what we're going to do, but we need to make it into more of a little kiddies play area. So this is Nabila's garden here, where those sticks start, and the sunflowers all up there, all the way. Look at the beautiful spinach here. This is her garden all the way till here, and then she has the reason she put that white cloth up there is because she didn't actually have any netting to put up there, so she just, but that's some tomatoes which the wind just channeled through there like crazy, and then she also put some parsley there, etc. This is Nabila's garden here. This garden is huge, people. It's really huge. So this is where I planted my potatoes, and the potatoes have come up. So here we have some, and I've actually mulched them, and then I've put some wood chips on top of the mulch just to. And I think what I'm most excited about this year is definitely the potatoes. These are the potatoes. Here's some more. And so this is the potato bed. This is actually, look what the sheep did to my corn. They have eaten it all up. So I'm just hoping that some of that they will actually just grow out. I know the inner leaves won't be as affected as the outer leaves, because the outer leaves would have been bigger when this was done. We have now, like I've said, fenced off an area. These were all supposed to be, but on the edges of these potato beds, we also have some pepper plants, which is also maybe just too open. Like I've said, this year, a lot of what is happening this year is an experiment. Planted ginger all in here, so it looks empty, but it takes about 6 weeks to 8 weeks, I believe. And Patience is not my middle name, so I would easily plant a whole lot of other things in here, but I think I'm going to give it the 8 weeks that it deserves to see if I'm going to get any ginger. I have planted some. What I've done is here, this is whole potatoes, right? But in there, in that channel, to prevent the water from going, just rolling off, we actually made this channel. And I then decided whenever I peeled potatoes, shop bought potatoes, and I see little eyes, I cut it off like a small little piece, like a small little piece like that, and I just planted it all along this. So the idea is when I do I mean, if it works, it works. If whenever I'm going to be seeing those little eyes on my potatoes, I'm just going to continue planting it right around in the outer channel. So this is the corn. Now this is not sweet corn. This is actually these are animal feed corn, animal grains, and this will go towards feeding chickens and just mincing it up or making it a little bit fine, not fine, but breaking it up a little bit.